Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Inked Reader. As you can see, my background is slightly different and I wanted to just do a quick video to show you how I spent my Christmas week, basically taking everything down from my shelves and redoing all of them. And as you can see, I used to have like a huge plant behind me. It's not here anymore, you'll see in a second. So yeah, I'm gonna just do a brief tour of my new bookshelves, just the ones behind me in the studio, just to introduce you to my new shelves, which I'm planning to have for at least another year. I usually change them, like properly do a deep clean once a year. Like yeah, I do the dusting here, but in general just taking all the books down and dusting them, it's once a year in December. So this year though, I used to have like a color scheme behind me, so my books were in like, you know, color scheme, and then I had a whole black shelf of all my black books behind me, and then I decided to change things around. I got rid of a few books I'm selling, and yeah, I've changed things, and so I want to show you. I hope you enjoy this quick tour, and let me know in the comments down below if you do. Okay, so at the bottom here I've just put a bit of random stuff, but specifically put Stephen King's books, Dean Koontz, and a few series that either I had a double copy of or I didn't know where to put otherwise. This is my sci-fi shelf, which is still, like, I don't read much sci-fi, so it's still relatively empty. And then here up I've got my romance shelf, and again these are all the romance I've kept in the last 10 years. Also, even with that I couldn't fill all of it because I don't read much romance, so on this side I put my YA contemporary stuff. Now of course part of contemporary YA is usually like a romance plot. The Female of a Species is not romance at all, but I didn't know where to put otherwise. So that is the only exception I have to kind of this shelf, so it's half contemporary, half romance. Here I have my actually like literature fiction shelf, self-explanatory. Here I've got my classics in the last two shelves. So this one, the second to last one, is my kind of fantasy, mostly urban fantasy though, like it takes place like in the normal world, our world. And then up there, gotta try and reach for my camera, we've got my historical fiction, which surprisingly I had a lot of. And then yeah, here I just put some on the top. In general, I put some Funko Pop, but as you can see I put just random series that either I finished or I didn't know where to put, they were maybe too big or just I ran out of space. So up is pretty random, but I do have now higher ladder, so I'm gonna pick up from my TBR from there as well. Let's start with this one. Here I have my it's a fantasy shelf, as you can see, and I went with like colors and just a few beloved series, or a series I'm in the middle of, like the Malazan one, Robin Hood, Joe Abercrombie, and dragons. And here is another fantasy shelf. Again, I've just put a couple of urban fantasy as well, but I just like how it turned out to be. Of course, like my majority of my books are fantasy, so I had to have a lot of shelves that were just fantasy. Here I got my kind of J. Crystal, some of my favorite books ever, Game of Thrones and so on. And that one with the blood, it's actually Holly Black, Coldest Girl in Cold Town, something of a sort, but I just put it there not because it's one of my favorite books. I really enjoyed it, but it's not my favorite book, but because I liked how the blood looked on the spray pages. That is the favorite special edition. And of course you could see I've taken away my plant. I've put these other photos, this other plant, and now here are my fairy loots, and I wanted to do a couple of shelves just with the sprayed pages of fairy loot, because it's my favorite thing that fairy loot does, is the sprayed pages that I do, and I'm just in love with them. And I've also put, I'm gonna come a bit closer, here's gonna be an actual book, so I'm gonna show you this shelf again because I'm reading Swordcatcher. It's gonna go in here. And also put Fairy Loot calendar for 2024 with Sarah J Maas characters. So this is it Ronan? I believe it's Ronan, yes. So yeah, this is my one of the two shelves I've done. You're gonna see in a second the second one. Here I have done my Sanderson bookshelf, and yes, around the Wheel of Time, but he finished that series, so technically that's fine. Now, if I ever acquire all Sanderson's books, I will never fit in. Sanderson is a very prolific author, so I think I've got many books by him, and so I think, you know, I like the shelves and I like how I put these. So I think these were from Gideon the Ninth, the bookends, and I didn't need them in my good bookshelves, so I found this way to display them, and I'm very happy with them. Speaking of Gideon Fenine, the book is here in another fantasy shelf. I liked this time to just put some books on horizontal as well as vertical. So yeah, it's another random kind of fantasy shelf. And the last fantasy shelf for on this side, there's gonna be more, is this other one. I've put a couple of fairy loots there. These are like a series that matches the spine. This one, the book ends, I don't remember where they're from, but they're in the recent unboxed fairy loot, so you're gonna see them there. There's another fairy loot with a reverse jacket, and then here I've got like a quartets or trilogies of series, YA series mostly, or new adult kind of slash adult books that I'm enjoying, and I wanted to, you know, kind of read all of them. So we got Kingdom of the Wicked, the Anna Darken series, Three Dark Crowns, and the Captive Prince one. So I'm gonna read all of them. I'm in the middle of all of those, and then we'll see how I like it. On this side, in terms of the comics that are usually like in the middle, I've not changed much. I've just removed a couple of things. So I'm just gonna do like a very quick. This is my lovely friends gifted me Chainsaw for Christmas, and of course I had to display him. And then here I changed here I used to have like my Biggie Small Funko Pop. I'll show you in a second where I put it, but instead I've just done a Doro and Day Dark kind of Hayashida shelf, and I love that figure. And here it's pretty much the same up there as well. I just put my Lore Olympus. So let's go back at the bottom of these. So here I put my thrillers and crime novels, which again is a genre I kind of read a lot, so I do have a few. Of course, on the top of the shelves I've got a mix of all genres, so everything that didn't fit in here I put up on the top of the bookshelf. Here I've got my horror. Now I've got two horror shelves. These are either horror that I've not read yet or that I enjoyed but they're not my favorite. And then we've got my favorite horror shelf. So these are all my favorite, most of them are like my favorite books ever. Now I'm thinking of ending things. It's not technically horror, but it fit well there, and it's one of my favorite books ever. So yeah, I put there. So this is a shelf with my favorite horrors, and hopefully I can add some more once I read more. Here I've got the other shelf with my fairy loot. Now these ones are particularly stunning. Not all of these are fairy loot, so this one is Broken Binding. But these are fairy loot. This one I purchased from Waterstone. So this one is actually from this one. This one, yeah, it's from Waterstone. But I just love having my sprayed pages displayed like this, and I'm just in love with this shelf. If you go a bit behind, it's like this is what it looks like, and hopefully you can see behind me when I film. So yeah, hopefully new beautiful editions will go on for the rest of the year. I've also subscribed for Broken Binding now, so I'm expecting great things from them. This is my Harry Potter shelf. I am obsessed. This is like the best gift I was ever given as a child. I was in California and a friend of my aunt gifted me this for Christmas, and it opens up and it's like a Polly Pocket thing where I played so much with that thing when I was a child and I wanted to keep it. And here I got my hardcovers illustrated editions. I've got another set, or I'm planning to have another set of Harry Potter books, which my child has in her room, and there are beautiful editions as well, but I kind of want to keep those in her room, if it makes sense. And they are also like full of drawings and things. She can kind of pop up things and stuff like that. They're beautiful. But yeah, she's got her in her room, so for now this is the shelf. And then here I've got Sarah J Maas shelf, because again she's got so many books out and I kind of liked the idea of having them all together. And finally it was up there, it's a fairy shelf mixed with a couple of paperbacks that maybe are like, I bought the paperbacks of the first series and then Fairy did the sequel series or something like that, and they look stunning. All of the spines of Fairy, so those ones have pages that I didn't think they were kind of that good to become like displayed just page from the on the page side, but they have beautiful spines or character arts or character art on the spine, and so I decided to just actually put them there. And then of course at the top there are some more lovely books. So I changed, so no more color scheme for me, but I really enjoy how it looks like. I took away all the plant, and the plant, you were wondering, where is that lovely plant, what did you do with it? I'm gonna show you in a second. So this is my desk redone, and I've just had to cover a couple of things because there's my name on it, but basically I've put the Funko Pop there, and it's my journaling stuff. Up there is the Bonds That Tie series, and I really like how it turned out. And this is the massive plant that was all around. I have just put it in on the ceiling, on the ceiling. I'm gonna do another angle, you can see properly. I am planning to have the whole ceiling with the plant on. That thing, just these, took me whole day to do it, because it was all messy, and so I had to find all the vines and just buy the clips and putting them on. So I don't know if this angle just gives an idea of how it looks like, but hopefully one day I'll have the whole ceiling like this, and then I want to put lights on, and it's gonna be kind of like into like a forest, and I want to kind of turn into like a tropical forest with fairy lights on. Let's see if I can make it. It's gonna take years and years. So guys, thank you for watching. That was my quick bookshelf tour, and yeah, I am happy with the change at the moment. I come in and I look, and it looks different, and so I like change now and then. So I wanted just to show you. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and if you're new, I would love for you to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Ciao.